Hi, I'm Jeremy Tank, and I am your brand guy. If you're watching this video, it's because we're friends from somewhere. That could be anywhere from my life to the RTT courses that I just completed this last year. That is Rapid Transformation Therapy, Hypnotherapy. I am now using branding techniques with hypnotherapy to help business owners, coaches, consultants, complementary medicine providers. I love those guys up here in Washington. Helping you guys mindfully upgrade your brand. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that at the end of this video. If those who know me closely know that in the past I've had a bit of a stuttering problem, so I tend not to do a lot of lives unless I know exactly what I'm going to say. I don't really know what I'm going to say today, so that's a little bit frightening, and I'm getting a little tongue-tied even just thinking about it right now. But today what we're going to do, because let me backtrack. I've had some really great conversations with up-and-coming hypnotherapists, acupuncturists, and a couple other people over the last couple of months looking to just start transitioning your business online and really figuring out how to use the web, Facebook, LinkedIn, all of these different sites to really start getting clients in, because you know, with the pandemic, stuff just isn't quite the same as it used to be, right? It's harder to get clients, particularly if you're offering services. And right now, coaching, consultation, alternative medicine, a lot of that stuff is opening up with Zoom and online presence where you can still do the work, but it's harder to let the corporations or let the people out there who need your services know that you're around, right? So what marketers tell you, and this is really quite specific to marketers, everything that has to do with marketing is getting you out there into the world, getting people to know who you are, explaining what you do to the market. And that's what marketing is. It's just everything you put out into the world to get people drawn to you. Well, I'm not a marketer, I am a brander. And what that means is I look at things in terms of brand, in terms of building an emotional connection, a meaningful connection between the audience, the customer, all of that sort of stuff. It's more of an experience to me, and I'm a longtime designer transitioning into this new sort of role of branding and hypnotherapy all at the same time. And what I hear a lot at this point is I don't want to niche down, and I want to keep offering services to as many people as possible. And the challenge right now is that as you move online, as you start talking about what you offer online, even if it's a hobby, even if you're just building a hobby right now online, the more that you talk about what you do in a generic sense, it sort of falls away online. So we're going to play a game today, and this game is the Who Am I game. And this is a branding game. And what I want you to do is get a slip of paper or some Post-it notes or something like that. It'd take about half a sheet of paper, and set aside about 5 minutes of your time. And what I'd like you to do is ask yourself, what kinds of words do I use to tell other people who I am? And it's a trickier assignment, it's a trickier game than it sounds like at first, because you want to tell people that you are these great things, and because that's our ego inside says, oh, I want to tell everybody this awesome stuff that I do, and I can absolutely help them, and I can help everybody. And that's a bit of that ego inside of us coming up. So what I'm going to ask you to do is take a nice deep breath. See, it even helps me. I love that. Let's do it one more time. Man, there are so many times in this last year of pandemic where just a nice deep breath helps to anchor and settle all those weird feelings, that not knowing what's coming next, it just centers us right back in the moment, and that's where we want to be. As we start to think about, for this exercise, who am I? Who am I? And if you're doing this just at home or at the office, wherever you are, just take a moment to think about that and let it go through your head. Who am I? And what's going to happen is your brain is going to start playing back memories, experiences, feelings, reliving feelings of things that you've done in your life, points of pain and pleasure, happiness and sadness. Your brain's going to replay these on a subconscious level really quickly. And you're going to sort of have a flashback of moments that meant something to you. Because when you ask, who am I? Our brain sort of interprets that in an experiential way, a feeling way. It's not a logical way. But what I want you to do as you breathe again is think about those experiences and think about those memories and think about the things that made you happiest and things that made you excited and things that lit you up. And as you're sort of thinking about those, go ahead and just put on a timer somewhere 5 minutes. This is all this first part's going to take is 5 minutes. And what I'd like you to do is say, okay, now what words would I use to describe all those experiences that are me to somebody else, that would want to share with somebody else, the goodness that I am, the happiness that I am, the knowledge that I share, just the connection. Right? We want to describe the emotions, but what does that mean? And this is the reason that branding fails for a lot of businesses that want to do it on their own and kind of lean on marketing, because marketing will use words like innovative or fashionable or influencer. And these words don't really have meaning to the subconscious mind. And they, in particular, probably don't have meaning to you when you feel them. They just don't mean anything. Exuberant. There's a good word. Joyful. Cooperative. Creative. These are great words. These are words that describe experiences that happen with me. These are words that are coming to me right now that just, they're who I am when I think about my experiences and my life. And what I'd like you to do is just spend 5 minutes and write down 15 or 20 of these words. And that's the first part of this game, is just write down 15 or 20 of these words. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you the second part of the game because it's pretty important, and we can continue on in another video if you guys are interested. Leave a comment below saying whether you like this or not, whether it's helpful or not. After that 5 minutes, I want you to leave those words and just walk off, because the thing is, your subconscious brain will keep thinking about that question and trying to find new words to express who you are to the outside world. And the neat thing about the brain is that the neurons that fire together wire together. So the thoughts that you have on a frequent basis, the words, the images, the memories, those become really hardwired. They become deeply wired in your brain. So when you start writing some of those words down in this 5 minutes, the first ones that come out are probably going to be typical, undifferentiated, the same as everybody else, because we all have, most of us in this world have similar experiences, and most of us have similar challenges in one way or another in how we want others to view us and work with us. So what I'm asking you to do is to move past those common words. Write them down, absolutely. If you do not write them down, your brain will trouble you until you write them down. If you have something that is bugging you and won't leave your brain, write it down. Because immediately the brain says, I have stored it somewhere, I can let go of that thought and move on to the next one. And when we think of ideas like brainstorming like this, what happens in the brain is it runs all those frequent connections, the neurons that are all wired together first. So write all those down. Next, it goes to the next common ones, and then it goes to uncommon ones, and then it goes to well, frankly, crazy ones, funny ones, goofy ones, things that make us laugh, things that sound absurd. Write those down. And then past that point, past the point of absurdity, the brain enacts creativity, true creativity, whereas putting pieces together that haven't been together before, and that's where you want to be. You want to be in that sweet spot of coming up with words, feeling the emotions of sight of who am I, and then saying, what words do I use to say, to describe that, to say that, to share that. And you're going to come up with some great words. I know you are. Just because everybody does. It's our experience. It's unique to us. It's how it's shared. And the words you come up with are uniquely you, and nobody can judge you for that. They are you. So after you've done that, the second part of this exercise, I'm just going to go ahead and skip ahead because I want to help you guys out here. This is all a huge part of branding. Figure out what words to use to connect with other people, right? And you use these words in your marketing or on your online things, social media. These are the words you use to help people understand how you view yourself and how the world should view you. And when you use these words and connect it with people, it's sort of this double mirror effect. You say it, it reflects back to you, you start to feel it more, and it builds on itself. So choosing these words are important. The second part of it, though, is super important too. And I base this around Simon Sinek's book, Start With Why, and some of the work I was doing in the hypnotherapy stuff. And here's the thing. The limbic brain tends to make decisions. Neuroscience is showing this. We make decisions in our limbic brain, which is lower back. It's very basic. It controls emotions, and it moves into the midbrain, and then the neocortex. The neocortex is named that because it's the newer brain of everything. And it's still, thousands and thousands of years old, but it's newer than the lizard's type of brain. But the neocortex is the logic. That's up here. That's the part when I say choose the words, it's up here. When I say feel, what am I? What are those words? That's back here. That's emotional things. And that actually creates memories and brings them up into your head. So Start With Why is all about the customers don't buy what you do, the thing that you do. They buy why you do it, the emotional response that they have. So by choosing emotional words with your words to describe you, by trying to embrace those thoughts of your memories of your happiest times, your creative times, times that are helpful, and using emotional words there, we're creating this bridge from where you are to where you want to be and the audience you want to work with. And these words are much more powerful than just, hey, I provide life coaching. No offense to life coaches out there, that's fantastic. But we need some emotional pull, right? Consultants don't just do sales. You're helping sales for an emotional reason, right? A company needs to improve sales. Somebody you're working with needs to improve sales so they can stay in business, whatever. But even our emotional words, they're not finished, because they don't describe why they are important to us or anybody else. And you don't have to share this list with anyone. It's just for you. It's a foundation of building your brand. It's the foundation of understanding your brand and the uniqueness that you bring to the world, right? So what I want you to do now is take about a half hour. I wouldn't go more than an hour, because then you're just overthinking it. And I don't want you to overthink. I really just want you to kind of feel inside, feel in the limbic brain, feel in your body, feel in your heart, and write down the things that feel appropriate to you. Now, next to all of the words that you've had, wherever they're on your sheet, they're up above, wherever they are at this moment. To me, in my mind, your sheet is like right here, and I can see the words that you're writing on it. Like, that's what I'm visualizing. And what I want you to do is right on top of all of those words, put I am. And as we think about this, I'm visualizing it as I'm talking to you, and it says, I am, and then it lists all the words. And then next to each of the words, I want you to write because, and a short statement. And this because is not like, I am tidy because I rock. I'm super glad that you rock. I am super glad that things are like right on. But what I want is that because I want you to tell me a story. I want you to tell me why. I want you to tell me the thought, the emotion, the thing that happened in you that created this word. I am a generally tidy person because my father was a very tidy person, and he liked everything in its place, and he liked things to be precisely where they were. And when I was being raised, he made me put things where they had to go and clean up after myself after every single something. If I brought out crafts, if I brought out paints, if I did things like that. If I was working with him with his tools, then we had to put all the tools back when it were done. And that's the right way to do things. Now, in my mind, I know people that just leave stuff out while they're working on it, and it drives me a little bit nutty because I'm tidy. That's not to say I'm clean. That's not to say I'm organized, but I'm tidy. And that was reinforced later in my life at the ad agency where I worked. My boss, William Russell Pyle, he he said to do a good job, to keep your brain on straight, to do what you're supposed to be doing, bring everything out, make a mess during the day, and then at the end of the day, clean up your desk, put everything away, and at the end of the day, walk away with a clean desk. And I still do that today. And it's just putting everything away. It seals off. What I've learned since then is that it closes off the brain and says to the brain, I am done thinking about that. I am finished for the moment, and now you can rest and we can move on. So that's why I'm tidy, because it gives me a chance to collectively finish something, at least for the moment, and then move on to the next thing. So that's what I'd like you to do, is for all of these words that you've come up with to describe how you describe who you are, I'd like you to just tell a tiny story to yourself of why that is. Because why? Tell me why. And I would love if you guys would share in the comments some of these I am statements. I am whatever your word is because, and then some of the stories. I would love to hear some of these stories because they make you uniquely you. And this is the biggest thing right now. Because of the pandemic, thousands, if not millions, of businesses are going online that have never been online, that have never actually had an opportunity to expand online and try to work this whole thing out. Because they have no choice. They have to adapt. We all have to adapt. There is an idea of going back to normal that we can pretty much throw out the window now. We have moved past that into just continuing to move on. And part of that is understanding that people are bombarded with way too many messages right now, and you have to be very clear and concise about who you are and what you do and why you do it so that people can actually resonate with you. And this is especially true if you're one of those people that says, I don't really want to choose a niche. I want to keep practicing and figure out what happens naturally and see where that leads me. And that's fantastic. And it's a great way to throw money down the drain or invest in marketing that may or may not go somewhere. Coming up with these words is your first step. This is a foundation, because if you can use these words for yourself, then you can use these words in marketing, you can use these words in sales, you can use these words in online presence, and it helps, even if you don't have a niche, these words help people understand that this is who you are and decide, is this somebody that I want to work with? So it helps, even if you don't have a niche, just by just throwing out there, you know, this is what resonates with me. Are you hip to it? Are you cool with it? Let's go with it. So that's what this whole game is just helping you choose that. Now, if this is something that you need, if you're a coach, if you're any kind of business whatsoever, and you are thinking about rebranding, or you just want help choosing the right words for your business as you launch, then that's what I do. I help people find the right words. I've got a process called Manifest Design that is an 8-week program that helps you find the right words and position your brand the way that you want it to be so that you can grow. And then I also do branding design, logo design, brand identity, that kind of work, because that's fun. And part of this last year for me is adding hypnosis into Manifest Design. So really it's a whole mindset transformation, going from not really knowing what to say about your business, about your life, about your success, to really having all the right words aligned up in the right way, and then getting your mind set. I just got that. Mindset in the right direction. Sometimes I'm a little dense. I apologize. The thing is, I used to hate the word mindset because it made no sense to me. And I didn't understand, if you're not set in the right direction, how do you change that? And hypnosis kind of taught me how to do that. And I'm teaching myself even more every single day how to do that. And I see how important it is, particularly for new business owners, particularly for those people going online and doing, well, this kind of stuff. So really, I just wanted to give you guys that little game today, and thanks for the couple of people that are watching this. I hope more people watch it. I hope you get some value out of it from the Who Am I game, because if you've read Start With Why, you know that having some of these why statements, having this understanding for yourself or your company or your team or your project, whatever that is actually pretty foundational to how you approach the world. It shifts your focus unintentionally and intentionally, I mean, consciously and subconsciously, it shifts your focus to help you align more with people that you want to work with. So if you guys want this kind of help from me for yourself, for anything that you're working on, comment below. In the meantime, yeah, share, like, do whatever you do on this platform. Because, oh, thanks, love it, people commenting. Yeah, so I'm gonna try and bring some more of these games, more of these exercises to you guys in the future, because I've got a ton of them, and I don't even get a chance to share them, and I just want to give them to somebody because I know you guys can probably use them in some aspect of your business, maybe just in some aspect of your life, helping you feel better about everything that's going on in the world. So thanks for that. Thanks for your time today, and yeah, I hope to talk to you guys later. Bye.